Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you very much for being here. I very much appreciate your attendance this morning and for coming in on this very important day. I think today you will see that many things that you've heard about what's happened in this tragedy that happened last year that we're now going to bring forward, and hopefully the facts that we bring to you will prove true and that we can bring justice to the victims of this horrible tragedy. So I want to introduce some people before we get started. Immediately to my left, sitting is Nicolette Ward, and she is an attorney at Blandon. And to her left is Rodney Gregory of the Gregory Law Firm, and based out of Jacksonville, Florida. And to the far left is Conrad Benedetto of the Benedetto Law Firm based out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Together, the three law firms, the Philadelphia firm, the Jacksonville firm, the Chicago firm, we are co-representing the 57 people that we have filed our lawsuit for. To my immediate right, today you'll hear from several of those victims. Starting at the far right is Roberto Cintron Capo, and to her left is Elko Reyes, and then sitting to my immediate right is Jose Cufino Rodriguez. All three of them have been victimized by what happened on June 12, 2016. Roberto will be talking on behalf of his brother who was killed that night. Ilka and Juan Jose were victims inside. Both were shot that evening. On June 12, 2016, the most extreme and vicious form of hatred deliberately plotted a script for horror that no one could ever imagine. The Pulse nightclub in Orlando, Florida was renowned for its music, its energy, and as a gathering place for the local LGBTQ community. Omar Mateen planned his attack on the innocent and unsuspecting victims over time. He was in no hurry to carry out an attack that he knew would cause mass destruction of human life and liberty. Indeed, the word pulse is now synonymous with the single worst mass shooting in United States history. He had no hurry because he had the ability and tools to plan. He was gainfully employed by one of the largest private security forces in the world, G4S. He was given a Class G license to purchase weapons and ammunition through his employment of G4S. He had a willing accomplice in his wife, Noor Salman, who secretly aided and abetted his plan of horror and destruction. This attack was easily preventable because it was predictable. Mateen spoke openly to his employer, his co-employees, his units of assignment as to his hatred of our country and his allegiance to Al-Qaeda. He did not make these statements out loud and known once, but on multiple occasions. He was so vocal that the FBI even began to investigate him. But his employer, G4S, refused to terminate him from his job, refused to terminate his license that he carried to purchase and conceal guns and ammunition. It was a woeful lack of supervision on the part of G4S. In the interim, Noor watched, she listened, and did nothing while Mateen planned, plotted, and began to visit Pulse in order to carry out his plan. And therefore, on the evening of June 11, 2016, hundreds began to gather in Pulse, filling its jammed hip-hop and patio rooms. By midnight, Mateen was executing his final walkthrough of the club before he began to carry out his plan with guns in hand. In the meantime, no one at Pulse was being searched as they entered, nor was anyone's driver's license being scanned and read, security measures which are now common and in industry practice-wide. At approximately 2 a.m. that morning, the shooting started. The carnage was underway. The human losses were piling up. Many people lay dead. People play dead so they would not wind up dead. Victims waited hours for the shooting to stop and rescue to arrive. They were all left to wonder whether their next breath would be their last and whether the next tick of the clock would be their last. Dozens of family members were in shock, waiting to hear who had escaped and who had not. By 5 a.m. it was over and the grieving was only about to begin. In the aftermath, we now know that in 2013, while working as an armed guard at the St. Lucie courthouse, Mateen repeatedly threatened his colleagues while he was an employee of G4S, including an instance in which he told the deputy sheriff at the courthouse that he, Mateen, would have the terror group Al-Qaeda kill the co-worker's family. During this time period, he bragged to co-workers about being associated with the Boston Marathon bombers. Mateen told colleagues that he had family connections to Al-Qaeda and Hezbollah, and that he had hoped law enforcement would raid his home so he could, quote, martyr himself. Additionally, Mateen even praised the shooter in Fort Hood, Nidal Hassan, the Army major who shot 45 people. After Mateen's transfer to a different site for work, because that was what G4 did, they transferred him, so they ratified his behavior by doing so. A former police officer and Mateen's co-worker repeatedly told and reported to G4S that he was concerned with Mateen's behavior, stating Mateen was unhinged, unstable, had constant anger, and went on frequent homophobic and racist rants, and that he talked about killing people. These factors made this tragic event predictable and preventable, period. I would now like to share with you a brief video of our plaintiffs who have graciously agreed to share their brave stories. If you could turn your attention to the screen, please.
June 12, 2016 is the day you will always remember. I was not at that night. I was at the shooting.
As we were walking to the front door, we heard 4 shots, consecutive 4 shots. And I believe it dawned to me in my head that those are gunshots. Something's about to happen. Not even a second later, all you heard was
It was super loud. I got scared when I know about the word drinks. And then after that, it just continued. Shots after shots. That's when I turned to my left and I tried to run. And I probably ran about 2 seconds before I was shot. And quickly on my legs.
I wasn't sure what was going on until I could hear that it's going over and over. And then some guy went next to me and then he was like, oh, you guys jump to the floor. And I was like, why? But then I didn't know what was going on and he pushed me. So that's when I fell, and while I was going down to the floor, that's when I saw my pinky that was gone. One of the bullets was gone.
It happened so fast, and when it ran so fast, I don't want to hear it. Once I heard the gunshot, I just dropped to the floor.
we're seeing people dying. We're seeing people get shot.
I sustained 6 bullets. There was 3 for sure on my right leg, and then I had grazed on my hands, my hip as well, and then where the shattered femur was as well.
I was laying facing down. That's when I saw his shadow next to me, but I didn't know if it was him. But I saw a shadow next to me, and that's when I fell. When I got shot 8 times in my body. I can feel my body jumping from, I guess, the power of the bullet. And every time I was getting shot, you can feel it, and I was bleeding from my mouth.
I was just waiting for him to go behind the bar and just shoot us behind the bar. That was running to the line the entire time.
I had to pretend 10, I was dead. When the shooter came back in the room, he started to shoot at a second floor, and that's when he shot everyone around me, and then I was shot again.
I am struggling to keep afloat emotionally, financially, physically, and my whole world has changed right now.
Well, I was in the hospital for almost a month. When I got out from the hospital, I couldn't walk. And basically, I couldn't do anything. Thanks to my family, I'm tested to my parents, they do that for me, to help me and do everything. My mom, she was the one taking care of me in the day. And then my dad was taking care of me at night, because I couldn't sleep at night. And I used to wake up screaming, crying.
I don't understand why we allow somebody to pick up that much ammunition and not question it.
The reason why I'm angry is because someone likes me should never have a gun.
There should be more law against who is allowed to own a semi-automatic and purchase that much ammunition.
The anger, it could have been prevented.
You know, I can tell you this from a personal standpoint. I've been an attorney now over...
June 12, 2016 was the day I was going.
I've been an attorney now over 30 years, and I've represented many, many people. And they tell you in law school, never get too personal, never get too close to your clients. Well, I'm violating that rule because these people that are sitting to my right and all the ones that are not here, I can tell you from everything that I've talked to them and seen of them, they are the most admirable, bravest, strongest, and courageous people that I've ever met. And it really is now almost an honor for me to have them speak to you, hoping that you get just a tiny little breath of what they went through that evening. I've been able to capture that. I've been able to feel it. And I want nothing for these people that I just described as courageous and brave. I want nothing but justice for them. I really want someone to be responsible. And I do believe I know who's responsible, and it's corporate responsibility. So having said that, I would like to introduce to you our first brave, admirable, courageous person here today, and that's Roberto. Now, is he going to be okay here speaking? Do we need to move him back? Okay.
Yes.
I can't. I'm sorry, I can't hear.
Roberto, go first.
I'm sorry, Roberto.
Good evening. I want to apologize first if I get short what I'm going to say. My name is Roberto Cintron. Sad and angry are just two of the emotions I feel on a regular basis. My younger brother, Luis Omar Ocasio, lost his life at Paul's Nightclub last year. I can still remember rushing over to Paul's when I got the word of the shooting, looking everywhere of signs of my brother. Life for me and my family has not been the same since. Without Luis in our lives, we're constantly missing his smile, the outpouring of happiness he shared with others, his talents as an actor and as a dancer, and so much more to him. Luis had real dreams for himself and for his future. He would always talk about how much that he wanted to be successful, to make enough money to take us out to vacation as a family. He was selfless and would do anything for anyone. While the memories I will forever hold of my brother put a smile on my face, I stand here in disbelief that this man was able to make such threatening comments and was easily ignored. disbelieved that he was able to walk into a store and purchase that much ammunition. Despite all the warnings he was able to carry out such a terror. And down to disbelieve that my brother is really gone forever. I'm gonna say it in Spanish. Triste y con rabia son dos de las emociones que siento. Mi hermanito, Luis Omar, de solo 20 años de edad, perdió su vida en el club nocturno. Todavía me acuerdo cuando recibí la llamada del incidente. Todavía me acuerdo lo desesperado que estaba por llegar y encontrar a mi hermano. Mi vida y la de mi familia no ha sido la misma desde ese día. En casa se extraña su sonrisa, sus buenas vibras hacia todos y todos. Sus talentos como actor y bailarín y muchas más cosas. Luis Omar tenía muchos sueños por realizar, para él y para su futuro. Él siempre hablaba de que él quería ser exitoso en su vida, para llevar a nosotros, su familia, en vacaciones juntos. Mientras esas memorias le ponen alegría a mi vida, todavía no lo creo. No creo que este hombre haya dicho comentarios tan amenazantes y fueron fácilmente ignorados. No me cabe por la cabeza que este hombre entró a una tienda y comprar tanta munición. No creo que a pesar de tanta advertencia él pudo hacer esto. Como aún no creo que mi hermano no está. Thank you.
Elko? So next you'll be hearing from Elko Reyes. Just put your paper there if you want. Okay.
Hello, good morning. What began as a night out with friends ended the worst day I could ever imagine. I was having fun and enjoying the night when I turned to the bar to get a bottle of water. Next thing I knew, I started hearing what sounds like gunshot. Initially confused, as the music playing had a similar beat to the noise of the shot. A bullet had hit my pinky. It was when I was being pushed to the ground that I noticed my finger was gone. I do not remember seeing anything else, but the screaming and noise I will never forget. People were saying to me, "Act dead, do not scream." I kept quiet, but this didn't help. Next thing I knew, there was a shadow next to me. And I was being shot in the back 8 times. With every shot, my body jumped, and I could feel blood coming out from my mouth. After nearly a month in the hospital, I returned home, unable to walk or care for myself. I am extremely blessed to be here today, but the pain I feel physically and emotionally will never go away. This will always be part of me. I feel angry when I think about the very clear warning sign that Omar Mateen gave to make such an open, threatening statement of that nature. And to not have anyone do anything about it makes no sense to me. With the complaint now being filed, I hope we can move forward and find justice for all those that deserve it. I'm gonna read it in Spanish. Lo que comenzó como una noche con amigos, terminó de la peor manera que podría haber imaginado. Me estaba divirtiendo y disfrutando de la noche. Cuando me volví al bar para comprar una botella de agua, lo siguiente que supe, empecé a escuchar lo que sonaba como disparos. Inicialmente confundido, como la música que tocaba tenía un ritmo similar al ruido de los disparos. Fue cuando me empujaron al suelo que me di cuenta de mi dedo se había ido. Una bala había golpeado mi dedo pequeño. No recuerdo haber visto nada más, pero los gritos y el ruido que nunca olvidaré. La gente me estaba diciendo, actúa muerto, no gritar. Me quedé callada, pero esto no ayudó. Lo siguiente que supe fue que había visto una sombra a mi lado y me dispararon en la espalda 8 veces. Con cada disparo, mi cuerpo saltó y pude sentir la sangre procedente de mi boca. Después de casi un mes en el hospital, regresé a casa, incapaz de caminar o cuidarme. Tengo la bendición de estar aquí hoy, pero el dolor que siento físicamente y emocionalmente nunca desaparecerá. Esto siempre será parte de mí. Me siento enojada cuando pienso en las señales de advertencias muy claras que Omar Mateen dio. Hacer declaraciones tan abiertas y amenazadoras de esa naturaleza y no hacer que nadie haga nada al respecto no tiene sentido para mí. Con la queja que ahora se presenta, espero que podamos avanzar y encontrar justicia para todos los que merecen. Gracias. Thank you.
And then last, we'll hear from Juan Jose Cufino. So,
We're going to take just a moment to move the microphone just to the table.
okay.
And if you folks want to give me a hand, that's terrific. We'll just